Hello, students. Welcome to my classes, and let us continue with the chapter Bina Kutir. Okay, we had reached till the first part of page number 57 in our last class. Let us continue after that. In our last class, students, we got to know that the narrator he was lost in his imagination regarding the inmates of the Bina Kutir and regarding some happenings in the Bina Kutir, okay? And we got to know that in his imagination, he had conceived a tale, conceived an incident where he had seen the eldest son of Budhar, Goswami, or Sarma, whatever it was, and that eldest son was seen talking to another man, Ganeshta, and he was telling Ganeshta that the responsibility of looking after the Bina Kutir was vested on him. He was the rightful owner, and so he wanted Ganeshta to help him out in that matter. And that eldest son, he wanted to preserve the Bina Kutir as it was. He did not want to dismantle it because he knew that his father's memories were associated with that house. So he just wanted to construct a library in order to let his father's scholarship perpetuate, let the people know. Okay, and he did not want to mar or destroy the environment of his ancestral house, Pinakuti. He did not live there, he would no longer be able to live there because he had to do his job somewhere else, but still he wanted to preserve the house as it was in the memory of his late father. Now let us see what happens next. His talk came to an end, and I could see that the two Punjabi gentlemen had finished their Coca Colas and they ended their conversation, their empty bottles making that thud. The images disappeared from the bottle. So his talk came to an end. His talk means the talk of the eldest son or the elder son of Pudhar Sharma as imagined by the narrator. Please don't get confused. It was an imagination of the narrator. Why did it come to an end? Imagination come to an end because the two Punjabi gentlemen who were with him in that stationery shop drinking Coca Cola, they had finished their Coca Cola, okay, and after finishing their Coca Colas, they put the bottles on the table, making the thud sound, okay, and that thud sound made the narrator come back to the reality. Understood? And he came back to the reality from his world of imagination. And as soon as he came back to the reality, the picture that he had concocted of that incident of the elder son of Pinakoti talking to a man called Ganeshta, that whole scene vanished from before his eyes. Okay, and they ended their conversation, the empty bottles making that thud. The images disappeared from the bottle. And where did he conjure up the images? The narrator had conjured the images inside his Coca-Cola bottle. Now the images had gone away. The images had been erased away. They evaded away. Okay, went out of the bottle. Okay, and I too drank the last drop with my straw and placed my one at the counter. And coming back to the reality, so long the narrator was not drinking the bottle, the dregs of the Coca-Cola, the remaining part. Now, coming back to the reality, he also consumed his last uh, drops of Coca-Cola, and then he also put his bottle on the at the counter, offering my due amount to the young man. Due amount means the money that he owed to the young man, the young salesman, as he had taken the bottle of Coca-Cola. I just inquired when did the shop close at night? Would he make inquiries about the house being offered on rent? So he had drank two bottles of Coca Cola. Now he was about to go and he made some inquiries. He posed some questions before the salesman. First, he asked him when did the shop close at night, and another thing he asked whether the young man would take the pains of inquiring whether the house would be offered a rent or not. Okay, he wanted to collect that information, that salesman to collect the information whether Bina Kutti would be given on rent or not. I will be coming again day by day after tomorrow. He won't be here tomorrow, the day after then. Yes, okay then. So the narrator informed the salesman that he will be coming again by day after tomorrow. Okay, he won't be here tomorrow, but the salesman won't be in that shop on that day. The day after then, yes, okay then the narrator told that, will you be there after that day? He said okay. Then he said that I'll be coming when you will be present here. Probably every day the salesman did not come to that shop. Okay. I came out and unfastened the bicycle lock. He came out of the stationery shop and unfastened. He had locked the bicycle for safety measures when he went inside the shop to drink his Coca-Cola bottles. Okay, now he came outside, unfastened the bicycle lock. Hectic loading and unloading was taking place in front of Speedwell Construction. The place where the diesel truck stood was all lit up. Such were the powerful bulbs, and many supervisory voices could be heard. So, hectic loading and unloading, okay, and many loading and unloading was taking place in front of the Speedwell Construction. The construction house which was nearby that house. What was the name of that house? Speedwell Construction. And before that house, loading was taking place, unloading was also taking place. Diesel trucks stood where the diesel truck stood was all lit up because it was the time of evening. It was already dark, so there were bulbs burning, and it was all lit up where the truck stood. Such were the powerful bulbs. The bulbs were so powerful of those shops, Speedwell Construction. The bulbs were just so powerful, and many supervisory voices could be heard. And supervisory voices means people who were supervising the action, the activity of things being loaded from the trucks, unloaded, okay, into loaded into the trucks, unloaded from the trucks. All these things were happening because it has already been said that it was a purely a commercial area. So these kind of things are very common in case of commercial areas, okay. And many supervisory voices could be heard, and downing all this was a noisy truck being started. Its black smoke spread all over, means undermining all the other noises. There was the sound of a truck being started, and that truck was started and it made a terrible noise, and it undermined all the other noises. And as the truck was started, black smoke spread all over. Okay, I moved forward, pushing my bicycle along. The narrator was moving forward, was pushing the bicycle. Bina Kutir is steeped in darkness. Only the rays from the adjacent building made patterns of light and shade on its left side, and it was all quiet. As no one lived in Bina Kutir, there was no light burning there. And it was steeped in darkness. The only light that came was from the adjacent building. Okay, on the rays from the adjacent means the nearby building. Okay, just near to it. Patterns of light, and it made patterns of light and shade on which side? On the left hand side of Binakutir. And it was all quiet. Everything was very quiet. It was night time, dark. There was no one living inside Binakutir. Behind the lit up building, the sound of the radio playing could be discerned, and also the sound of a typewriter at work. Food was being partaken. Surely there was ongoing conversation inside its rooms. Commerce and domesticity, the joy, anguish, irritation, desire, greed, love, pain. So many sides of existence, snatches of different dimensions of life's theater, those on which the curtains had fallen long back in Binakutir, its life gestures and sounds falling silent so long ago. And in that adjacent building, just by the side of that Binakutir, being behind a lit up building, the sound of the radio playing, there was a sound of radio playing could be heard. Typewriter, someone was working at the typewriter. Food was being cooked. There was ongoing conversation inside the people of the inmates. Commerce, domesticity, talking about commerce, talking about domesticity. There was joy, anguish, means mental suffering, irritation among the people, desire, greed, love, pain, so many sides of existence. Okay, so these were the common things in the other buildings surrounding Binakuti. Okay, these are the sides of existence. You may underline that. These are the different sides, because when a person remains alive during his lifetime, you cannot do away with all these things. Students say so beautifully written thing. Huh? These are our sides of existence. Not only that we breathe and eat and we remain alive, along with our trying our endeavor to achieve our goals. Along with that, in our journey of life, these things are inseparable. Sometimes we'll feel joy, sometimes we'll feel suffering, that is anguish, sometimes we feel irritation, desires will be there, love, pain, greed. These are things which you cannot do away. So many sides of existence. These are the common components of our existence. This will be there as long as we are alive. Snatches of different dimensions of life's theater. Very beautifully, it is being said that life is a theater. Very often we find that in literature, life is compared to a theater. So these are the different dimensions, okay, different aspects, different dimensions of a life which is like a theater, and these are the different dimensions to it, those on which the curtains had fallen long back. So in Binakuti, the life's theater was no longer going on, because the no inmate was there, no one lived there, and it seemed as if the curtains had fallen long back in Binakutir. Its life gestures and sound falling silent so long ago, way back. The Binakutir had become silent. The voices had been hushed. They had become silent. People had scattered here and there. No one was living there. So that house was no longer lively. It did not encompass the it did not encompass all the gestures of life, any side of existence, because it was bereft of any people. But the other buildings, the adjacent building, the other you may say the commercial buildings, whatever it was, all the other buildings were vibrant. They were vibrant, they were jestful, they were lively, because people lived there, people were doing business there. So these things were to be seen in the other buildings. Okay, the gestures of life's theater, the sights of life of existence could be witnessed there, but it was not to be done in this building, Bina Kutir. Completely over, I went to sleep wondering about Bina Kutir, and rubbing my eyes in the morning, I recalled Bina Kutir did not make any appearance in my dreams. So he thought, were they completely over, or there's still some bit of life left? Yes, thinking all those thoughts, he went to sleep, and rubbing his eyes in the morning, he recalled that Binakuti did not make any appearance in his dreams. He did not come in his dreams. He did not dream of Binakuti at all. Okay.